Hello and welcome to Lab 2. I don't really have anything to talk about. This write-up should be hopefully self-explanatory. You're going to implement the big three for your vectors, and you can copy a whole lot over because you made most of it already. Just the big three is the new stuff, and then you'll write some tests. But one thing that you might not have seen before when you're working on this calc receipt program is command line arguments. So normally we write our main function that looks like this, and you can actually give optional parameters to main itself. So you can say int argc, has to be an int first, you can call it whatever you want though, it's usually called argc, and then char star argv bracket bracket. So let me tell you what these mean. Argc is, it stands for argument count. And argv stands for argument vector. So vector, think of it like an array. It really is an array. It's an array of C strings, or char stars, if you've heard of those. So it's an array, you read it kind of backwards. Argv is an array of strings, a special kind of string, a C string. And what you get from this is when you say something in the command line, you can give optional things at the end of it. I'm going to save that for later. But if I were to say ls, that's a command, hit enter, it runs. If I were to say ls-a, this is an argument to the ls command, okay? And it's getting that through these things called command line arguments. Okay, so argc will be populated with the number of arguments you're giving. Command line arguments. Oops, I already typed that. And argv holds the text of those arguments. So I'm going to make a simple program now that just goes and prints out all of the command line arguments. So for I equals 0, I is less than argc, I plus plus, cout, argument I, colon space, argv of I. And I'm doing this all for you in the calc receipt file, but this is just in case you wanted to know what this was actually doing. So that is it. I'm going to go and print out the contents of argv, and argc tells me how big it is. Okay, so you're actually always giving one argument. Argument 0 is the name of the program itself, and then you can give more stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, ASDF. Now argc was set to 3, and I had argument 0, which was the name of the program, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a string, remember, not the actual number 1, 2, 3, 4, in the next index, and then ASDF. So it's just space-separated stuff. I mean, you can tab over even if you wanted to. Tons of spaces. It'll just chop off the spaces, but yeah, that is a quick introduction to command line arguments. So argc holds the number of arguments that you were given, and they're all space separated, and argv holds the actual text of those things. So for example, this one was 1, 2, 3, 4, the string. Maybe I can type this one last time. So for example, dot slash a.out 1, 2, 3, 4 ASDF. For this, argc equals 3, because the name of the program counts, and argv is, I'll use like Python style, or we'll use C++. Dot slash a.out 1, 2, 3, 4, the string, and then ASDF. Okay, that is the idea, and hopefully it makes sense now what I'm doing. I'm just indexing in to argv inside of that calc receipt program. All right, so that's all I wanted to show you there, just in case you haven't seen this before, And yeah, go ahead and get started on your lab now, and good luck.